fortunate to have a graduate whose legacy of service and achievement as a student continues to influence us to this day. Kudos to you. The president of Beacon College is a man of great distinction and numerous accomplishments. He has been the driving force behind Beacon's unprecedented growth during a time when small colleges everywhere are struggling literally for survival. But what truly sets him apart is his humility, his attitude of service, and his kindness. It is my distinct privilege to introduce the third president of Beacon College, Dr. George Hagerty.
William and Alex, you were just fantastic, as were all the speakers, but it's always wonderful to see how far our graduates come with hard work. Now, I was going to start the way I always do a convocation, by speaking directly to the students. But I recognize that after this morning, I need to speak to the parents. I spoke to you this morning for an hour and 20 minutes. I did not know until Dr. Manzo walked me out of the building to take me back to campus. Oh, she put it like this. Dr. Hagerty, how long do you think you were supposed to speak for? I said, an hour, but I know I went a little over. She said, well, you went 20 minutes over an hour, but you were on the schedule for a half hour. And so, Dr. Oksana told me that I should apologize. And so I apologize. The first convocation that I led was in 1995. And when you're a new president, and I had just come out of the classroom, and I was really frightened. I was always frightened of the president. And all of a sudden I was one. And so you start to look up for, like, how do I start my convocation speech? And in those days we didn't have ChatGPT. There was Google, but it wasn't as robust. So I started looking. And I saw one that had the headline, How Not to Start a Commencement or Convocation Speech. And it happened at Wellesley College up in Massachusetts. And the speaker, who I believe was the president, started, I know that I'm expected to say something inspiring to you, but frankly today, I just don't feel it. So that gave me a good guideline as to what not to say. And then you just try to think, oh, can we do it a little flashy? Can we have a little entertainment? So then I looked, tried to find who's the most unusual convocation speaker. And believe it or not, it was Kermit the Frog. And he is quoted as saying, to start his speech, as we say in the wetlands, ribbit, ribbit. Now he claimed that that meant, welcome, you're gonna like it here. But you know, you should always have some laughter in what we do. And I appreciate your laughter, because if those didn't go over, I was in real trouble. But we are, we're really undertaking something that's enormously important, and that is your development. And we're very defined in the purpose that we have for the institution. We want you and your parents to live an abundant life. And we talk about an abundant life, but it's just not some general notion that we have. We've told you what it is. If you've read any of our materials or listened to some of our videos, it's a life of intellectual challenge. It's a code of moral ethics. It's the healthy moorings of family ties and solid friendships. Because it's the people here who are really going to matter in good times and in bad. It's a commitment to service. It's a devotion to doing worthy work and living independently as you graduate. And finally, it's a commitment to lifelong learning. Now, when I spoke at length to your parents this morning, I talked about why we keep this college at about 500. We're a little over. We're pretty popular right now. We're a little over. But why we keep it at a small, relatively small number of students. It's because this is the perfect liberal arts environment for you and for us. We want to know you. We don't only want to know your name, we want to know your dreams, we want to know the challenges, we want to know it all. And your faculty, and your learning specialists, and counselors, everybody on this campus is going to wrap around you to ensure that you have the greatest opportunity to succeed. And the other day I was sitting in a training seminar that the academic division was having, and it was on AI. Now we've all heard about AI, some know it with more detail than others, but it's kind of scary for somebody who is a baby boomer. I'm not going to take naturally to it all, except I do find that ChatGPT is helpful. When I'm lonely, it'll talk back to me. It's really great. But what the faculty and the academic staff were talking about is not how can we use AI to get learning done as if it stood on its own. It was how can we use AI, which you're all going to know for your entire life. It's not going away. When I was, to age myself, when I was in high school, calculators came out. And we were told by our junior math professor, teacher, we're not going to use calculators because you'll never learn math. Well, I think we've had generations that understand that we do use calculators, we do know math, we may not have the answers immediately, but we have a way to get to them, to the correct answer. And I kind of see AI in this way, particularly as I heard the conversation between the faculty, and we had a national consultant in, and I heard the conversation, and I heard how each one of them could individualize how they could strengthen the work that they do by a relatively simple use of one piece of AI. We're one of the few institutions right now that are taking this on because it's important work. It's going to be not only part of your education, it's going to be part of your work life, and an important part of your work life. And this is a perfect place for us to explore together what we will ultimately apply when we talk about AI. So I realized this is the perfect environment for 50 to 500 students. And of course, there are some who want us to grow bigger, and I've dug in my heels, but my heels start to slip because the problem is when you start to get awards like we do, more and more people hear about us, they want to come. So the competition is getting increasingly great, and we are turning down students who we have in the past otherwise admitted and have done well here. So you've heard some of this. I just want to reinforce some of this with you because it's really important. There's a recipe for your success here. Be in college, not simply at college. Be in college, not simply at college. Don't sit on campus and think that you are in college. You are in college when you actively get involved in the community and you go to every class. May I hear it from you? Go to every class. And I need for you to say in front of your parents, I will go to every class. That's not strong enough. Let's move on. Okay, so here's the deal. Your faculty has heard that you might not get in trouble with your parents because they might not know what these faculty are going to know right away. Challenge yourself. Create solid friendships. Get inspired with other people. Have similar desires, similar needs. Get around the campus, get out of your room. And by the way, I've already told your parents, if you don't want to get out of your room, we'll be there to get you. That's all I know. And finally, in a world and in a community in which you can be anything, be kind. And I say this because certainly there's been a loss of civility across society, but the one thing that we try to practice most and honor most is civility between students, between faculty and students, between one community member and another. It's absolutely vital that we remain as a civil community, irrespective of what's going on in the outside world, because this is our community. We're responsible for each other. So we've been awaiting your arrival, and our best hopes are with you. Embrace Beacon College as the gift that it is. There is challenge and hard work here, but there is also joy. There's also great achievement, and there's also discovery. Be proud of the journey you are about to undertake, and recognize that everybody in this room right now is a person upon whom you can rely. And that includes the student next to you, the student behind you, the student in front of you. Trust each other. Respect each other. I know for many of us, this is our first time living in a large group. It may be a bit difficult at first, but the truth of the matter is, you will make it, just like the 12 years of students who have been here since I've been here. Believe me, they can make it. That's a lot of students. And I guess in closing, you come to Beacon at a very, very important time for us. We still are growing, although we aren't growing in students. We're growing in programming and we're growing in physical plant. And you probably know you've all been invited to the groundbreaking for the intramural and fitness center, which is going to be 28,000 square feet. It's a beautiful piece of property. And, oh, here's a deal. It still hasn't been named. Your name could be on that building. I'm not going to tell you the challenge that I would give if you want to put your name on that building. But all of the people who have given to us have not wanted to be recognized. They haven't wanted their name on the building. They just want to do good for Beacon. And it's like this faculty. It's like the staff. It's like everybody you're going to be surrounded with. They want to do good for Beacon because we know that will be good for you. So enjoy your orientation, and I'll see you around campus.
Thank you, Dr. Hagerty. With our purposes for this convocation fairly met, it is my honor to call this opening ceremony of the 2025-2026 academic year to a conclusion. Congratulations, entering students and dear families. You have chosen your academic home well. Now it's time to go to work. This convocation is now concluded. As Professor Fleming and our Piper lead out the platform party and faculty in procession, I respectfully request that the audience remain standing at your seats. Will the platform party, faculty, and the audience please rise? Dr. Fleming, will you do us the honor?
What do you have now, Azure?